I always want to remember this footage or this particular time. It will go down as a poignant turning point in my exploration of these light beings, because so much stuff comes forward just as I look back over the footage. So many funny moments in the things that they were teaching, or they always use my life, obviously, but experiences within it. Also, they love phrases, so it's all the one-liner phrases that we always hear, and then they're kind of like, that's where that comes from, or that's why that is said. So what I feel that they're taking me through now is, just like everything seems with some of the cloud footage, it's the lights or dark clouds or streaks. It's like so much stuff just jumbled in one small space of the sky. Everything's going on, multi-layered. But if I'm gauging it right, what it actually feels that they've been slowly moving me through is awareness of the other parallel lives. So we're told past lives, and so because it's easier for our minds back then to view it as that concept, it's too much for the mind, or was, to be thinking of everything happening at the same time, because it does become a bit of an influence, I believe. So just to place it somewhere, it's easier said like that. Also with different dimensions, it's easier. People would just think of it layered one on top, especially when coming from like religious perspectives, people feel heaven is up and hell is down, whereas we know now it's everything's all in one, and it's different layers, gradients, densities of how you see and experience something. So what we're working on now is, like they say, how can you learn anything if you've never done anything? Which makes sense. Yes, I agree. And this is why they push so strongly for do what you love. So we can always make that complicated, but then when we break it down, it's you get up, you do a job you don't like for some people, but you may be forced for circumstances to have to always do that, but you can counterbalance that by implementing something that you do love doing outside of that work. So they're not one for woe is me excuses. They do jump down. It's not jump down hard at the end of the day, not the you got to do this police. They are here to help your conscious and self-awareness expand, and the more that it expands, the deeper you go, and the more they can show you. So it's like, I suppose, people that are highly intelligent, they must struggle to, in the nicest sense, to have conversations with people, because they naturally frame things, think things different way, and they can someone probably could say something and they would always be able to expand on what was said and show a different perspective higher. So for many, that may feel intimidating or be taken a certain way. I'm just assuming to try and give an example, but they might feel another way. That's when you would get someone, say, that's highly intelligent, that then begins to dumb theirself down, not dumb theirself down, but hold back because of, because maybe people just don't get them, or just hold their time until they meet others or someone that can match them conversation wise. That's why it's refreshing for people, or they say a breath of fresh air is another saying, because when you meet a like-minded person and there's no need to have to explain or get them into a comfortable position to be able to experience you, speak to you, see you, or something, to get another, it just flows and it clicks. And even if they are opposites, or it doesn't have to be the same, it's just an unspoken something. Yeah, so there's something about that they're taking me through. Remember, as I'm working with them, it's not just you sit down, pen and paper, or in a meditation or whatever, and you ask a question, they give you the answer. You've got to remember they are about, you will experience it so that you can absolutely encode that on every level within the soul imprint. And that's what's happening. This is why those that are mimickers, that are corner cutters, that are robbing other people's work, stuff, places, things, ideas, or whatever it is, the takers, those people are what we will start seeing really, really unraveling, because that lucrative pot is turning to stone with fingers and hands trapped inside it. So everyone will be able to see you've built a life upon a lie, and now here it is being shown that actually this is undeniably what the truth is for many. Oh, the truth can be anything that you want it to be. Yeah, it can. But it also needs to be able to withstand every type of form. If something is real and true, it can be placed anywhere and it will fit, it will blend, it will make sense. Distortion is an obstruction of energy, a restriction of flow. So that's another thing. So as an example, especially with this footage, so one time, whether I've said this bit, but it leads on, but one time I came out and I didn't feel I needed a sign or anything like that. And it was at the earlier stage of them really stepped forward and showing me physically, daily, all the time. And there was a clear blue sky and a massive luck dragon. And that was even before I was seeing all through the news feed, everything Never Ending Story. We all love that one if we're into all fantasy magical stuff. But I didn't have my phone on me, and I just knew that if I went in to get my phone, I'd come out and it'd be gone, because they do that a lot. They put things in the sky and it's like, haven't got my phone. But that's the unspoken they're trying to show me as well. Leave the phone down. Sometimes you're being shown things that are for your eyes only, just for you to see and have as your own. And that's another lesson that I know that I've been trying to push through, unaware of this bit. Messages in the tarot readings of the being able to receive as well, or being able to ask for help. So anything, especially as you are growing, evolving, expanding, if there's anything that is resisting a natural flow or a natural expansion, then the light beings, if they're working with you or whatever stage you're at, will then create situations which could be where they control our lives, or they're putting blocks and things. Remember, there's a higher intelligence and a lower vibrational version of everything. You can get fresh fruit and you can also get rotten, mouldy fruit. So there's that for that example. So I know that they've been working with the this is for you. It's not to share with everyone or whatever. So it's learning that, again, with the communication, I'm not hearing a two-way conversation chattering all day long. I speak telepathically, because how else am I going to speak? They know my thoughts, they know my whole inner core of they know me on it's every level. Whereas what I'm interacting with is literally when they're saying the universe reflects back to you or speaks back to you. This is why you need to know your environment, know yourself, to know what is just a something or what is an actual sign. Not everything's a sign, but it will depend. So, and it depends whether you're in receipt of a reply or a response, because the universe isn't just shouting at you the whole time, look at this, don't forget that, and work out this. Remember, you're your own navigation system, so you're living life, you're doing your journey. But you start getting to a certain point where you've got enough experiences for the next level, the next stage, or the new life coming in. So one aspect of parallel lives or multiple lives, I've always felt that when we see the spirals, coils as I call them, for me, the coils are representing lives within lives. So obviously when you're younger, you've lived a life, and then you come to a particular age, and then your life takes on a different. But we get to a point that we believe that we've built our life, and it looks like this, this, and this. And the purpose is to hold on to that, because we've spent all this time building it, and that's it, obviously building on and expanding. This is from literally a physical and material perspective, and that's all well and good. But I've also known from a young age that it can all be taken away at any time. So things that you are refusing to let go, there will come a point that you will be faced with that challenge of, why can't you let it go? You're going to get to a point where detachment will play a part. So it is quite a complicated, not if you don't give a shit about people, it's not complicated at all, but they will find a different layer. That's just a protection mechanism of an insecurity on a whole, so it will be tapped in from a different area. But especially for someone like myself, that with the work that I do, and it's all linked to feelings, the concept of detachment for some reason linked to not caring, and so it took a time to be able to slowly release the fingers that were gripping on to whatever. And once you've learnt that lesson, then you go the spiral, the coil, you go through different things, and it will be the same lesson but applied to other things. So it's not that you can't be attached, or you can't stay in one place or be settled or be with the one person or have this, you're always going to lose it. It's nothing to that extent. It depends. If you're exploring higher consciousness and the expansion of who we are and all of those questions, this is what you'll go through. It's nothing to do with being religious or being spiritual. And so, because I'm even at the point now that I feel the spiritual journey got me as the framework to where I am now, but the more that I'm looking at how hijacked the spiritual movement and the falseness that is within it, it makes my stomach turn. But in a sense, I'm kind of glad that I followed my own compass. I didn't get hooked into these traps. And so now, do I need it as a framework? Because if I'm honest, for a long time, I've not been able to find the richness and depth of something spiritual that matches the feeling, what I need to fill that, not void, but it's like there's can't even describe it. It's not a hole. I mean, for visual purposes, for the conversation, it would look like a hole. It would be classed like a void, but it's not. It's just something that I'm being shown like a, I don't know, rib cage, or just like lines or bones and oil being poured on it, and then that softening or absorbing. Yeah, I want to absorb something. Yes, that's it. Yay, we've got it. I need something. I'm looking for depth, without a doubt. I've always known that, and I think it's got to the point now that I just can't stomach surface level anything. And there's so many people that are closed off to that, or you'll get it, oh, I'm on a spiritual journey, and it's all the buzzwords, and it's just, there's nothing that's just natural and real. And I feel that that's what it's what's pulled me in more to myself, because I'm just not getting anything that is really nourishing what I need. So once I went through an experience that I was shown that I was surrounded and my life was embedded by complete false constructs everywhere, that it kind of made it easier, because that then was the perfect time for me to show the light beings and demonstrate or let them guide me through the process of healthy detachment without having anything left over, not severing and cutting off as it may feel that it's done. But when you do that, when you just cut something dead with no warning to you or yourself, or no understanding of why you're cutting something off and you're never to return to it type energy, that's where it leaves unhealed pain. But if you're doing it in full awareness, you've got full understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, the implications, and all of the rest of it, and it's not coming from hatred, malicious, or intent to hurt emotionally to others, and that type of everything. Don't forget, everything I do and think is all from the spiritual perspective, even though for many years people that knew me didn't even know that that was going on in the background. Why would they? But anyway, so this recently I was able to close that down. The closing of my tarot reading, I wasn't able to let that go because I knew that that was a love I wasn't prepared to give up. Whereas at the minute, they are moving me away from the tarot because, again, now what I'm seeing is how compromised that is. And it's almost painful to see how many fake readers have been embedded on purpose. This is a whole nother story. There is a scam group who have embedded them in, whilst also on the campaign of saying all fake readers, healers and everything are fake. It's a whole different whatever. I think this is the stage I'm at with them as well, because the more that I'm raising my conscious awareness under their guidance, as they're using my life examples to be able to use that as the template or the reason why, and the lessons and understandings that unpack with that. So now it's hard to not see certain things. It's like, if anything, if you see something that's absolutely a fake copy of counterfeit, then you're going to know. You get those that are as good as the real, but if you know the real, it's not getting past your eyes. So like, say somebody that worked in watches or diamonds or anything, artifacts, anything, their eyes are trained to spot the fake, but you can only have that when you've got the enough experience of being in the presence or handling that which is authentically real. And so at the minute, everything is up in the air because people are finding they've been misdirected, or everyone's moving around, it's all changing, and so that's why they're pulling me to one side, just to again to be detached from what I'm seeing, because there is no point having a reaction. You can't fix the world, you can't fix the whole of everything, and so it's about being able to witness things from a detached perspective, but understanding it doesn't mean because that you're not caring. So even that bit there, like that's kind of where I'm at the minute, because it's something that we're going through now, but they're just trying to lighten my serious ass right up and showing me, I was saying about the luck dragon. So this is kind of how they put things in. So with that luck dragon, I knew that was for me not to share, but I thought people would think it was fake anyway, because the level of detail is beyond belief. It's mental. So another time recently with this video footage, I was seeing things, didn't have my phone again, and they had like massive like swirls in the sky, DNA coding, like the whole is like huge, like massive strands, DNA codings. And then over another side, they had something else. And it was, I was like, I need to get my phone. And I quickly ran in and got my phone. And I come back and tried to film, and I hadn't even pressed record. And I do that all of the time. And then I'd done another one and it wasn't recording. It was on photo. And then I've tried again. And then I started, by that time, it had just dissolved and dispersed. And it's like, no. And then I was trying to film, and when it was getting dark, and it's hard to see anyway, and where I've been used to filming with the light in the daytime, filming, and it's like, no, I can't quite see. I can see you, but they can't see you on the camera. And then it would be moved. Then they would show me off camera somewhere I wasn't filming, like a light streak across the sky. It'd be like, no, the camera's here. Why didn't you do it on there? The point of it is, I was getting frustrated. I'm trying to direct them. Can you just come, if you could spin closer into the camera and all of this bit. The point of telling you all of this is the joke on with them on me. It's a thing on every realm, apparently. What they're trying to show me is I'm already trying to make sure that what I'm bringing forward is interesting, or people or clouds it's going to be boring. What they're trying to show me is you're not making this for it to be for anything, for anyone. This is for you and your timeline. Like, I know this is going to be posted around the Lionsgate portal, so then in 2 years, 3 years, I will always know to come back to that footage, and then I can always find my one, which was my turning point of my learning lessons with them. So that's the purpose. But the way they say is, we're not some kind of fireworks display. And it was just so funny, because no, they're not. I can see what I'm seeing, and I can't tell what anybody that watches these videos is going to see anyway, because like they're saying, you're not creating this for critical minds that are never going to be able to give you credit for anything. They are only watching purely to criticize. So there's nothing to prove to people like that. I'm not experienced in all plasma and it does this and it's made from this or made from this, yeah, and it's all compositions of that, all of that. So what I'm filming, I can never know what's going to excite or be boring for an actual expert in any of these areas. So what they're saying is, it's not for that, it's for you, because things are unfolding. And the main thing as well is that the way that it's unfolding is they are getting our eyes used to how to view them. But now what I realise is actually they're training our eyes to be able to see them, because in a minute it's going to be winter, dark days, crappy weather and raining and all sorts of everything. So if I'm feeling that seen one cloud, you've seen them all, but it has to be the daytime and good weather for me to be able to capture the footage, what they're showing me is, no, we know where you're being led, so go with it. But yeah, I already know I'm going to have to chop this up and condense it down, but there is plenty that's coming, plenty that's unfolding. There's multiple thought levels and layers is what they're showing now. So I feel that I've detached from my old life. I am in the door, closed the door of my new life, and now step by step moving forward. But there's some things that I'm noticing how easy it would be for my head to literally be floating in the clouds. So I'm having to be aware of being fully grounded as well, because it's almost like an escapism. It's at the minute as well, I don't even want to be inside. It's like I need to be outside, because I can feel how vast they are, and when I'm out there I'm enveloped in with that energy. And so it's not that it's addictive, but they can try it if they want to just keep expanding and expanding. I don't know where I'm going to be going with it. It might not even be anything, but I am loving it so far. And they've shown me as well about soul contracts, and there's 3 in particular that they've shown various stuff, but they will come again, but in the form of different people, obviously, because those ones are closed down. The main thing, and something that you guys may want to bear in mind, is when we've been seeing about doing what you love, the whole point of following your passion or doing anything that you're drawn to do or explore or hobby, because with soul contracts and moving around, what you'll find is here, literally for me, following a passion, which I would never have thought that this was going to be something that they're showing me it's going to be. But it's like my love of looking at the clouds, reading the clouds and so on, that being an interest is now going to take my life in a whole different direction. And would you believe that I'm looking at clouds, and this is where it's beginning, but what they're showing me and what I know is it is going to be marine life. That's why they keep showing me the fish. So there's connections to marine life and so on that I keep seeing in the sky. So it's the subconscious is water, and this, what I'm being shown and exploring, is the astral realm. And so that makes sense that the sky and the seas are blended into one, as they are when you look out across the ocean. So yeah, okay, so I am gonna save your ears for now and see how I can chop this down so it's not so long. So bye bye.